What's up, people? Welcome to What the Fuck Wednesday, which we've been doing a lot of lately, thanks to my cousin. I mean, I better not complain because then she'll ask the food. But, you know, the way we have it set up, I'm not supposed to see the questions before I read them to you. So that's like part of the fun. But even yesterday, I asked her, well, just if you can't do it, just send them to me. I'll finish the column so we can do the show. But she couldn't even do that because she had a power outage. So that's why we're doing the show today. Not like that's a problem. But what we do here is respond to previously submitted advice questions. There's a form at Debsterism.com if you want to submit your question for a future show. That's where you go and just log on there and fill out the form. But we have 20. Oh, wait, this says 26. We have 26 questions tonight. So I will be answering them on the fly. The lovely part about the show is I don't see the questions in advance. So I don't know what they are. I don't know what the people are asking. My cousin Candace handles all of that. She puts it in the document. She emails it to me. And then I read the questions out loud. And then I respond to them off the cuff. So you know as much about it as I do. You hear the questions for the first time, just like me. So none of this is rehearsed, prepared. It's all, it's all like real life stuff, real life questions and real life answers. And that's how we do it. It's been working very well. So I have my cup. I forgot who sent me this cup. This was years ago. And I found it like in the back of some books on a bookshelf. It's like, I'm effing magical. And so I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to put my wine in it. I'm not particular. I don't have to have a fancy wine glass sticking my pinky out. I have my wine in a coffee mug, jelly jar. I don't care. All I know is when I do this show, I better have something because these people be sending me to a new special place. So let's get started. We got question number 1. I said, that's what I love this show. Girl, this show, I don't know. Sometimes after the show, I sit there and like, what happened? Where did these people come from? How did they find me? Question number 1. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from Rochester, New York. Summary of issue. How do I tell a friend who I let move into my house that I feel uncomfortable with her rearranging my house all the time and moving around my belongings? I let my friend move in as she has just come out of a breakup. She has a lot of stuff. However, every time I come home, things are rearranged, and she commented on how cluttered the house looks, mainly because her stuff is everywhere. We discussed rearranging the house together so it flows like how we like it. She arranged the outside areas and things like my shower caddy that I have all of my things on the top level. I'm all for rearranging, but I feel like the house is getting taken over. I have another housemate who is subleasing off me, and I have completely set the house up myself as I've always had my own leases and I sublease a lot, as well as my friend who doesn't have a job or a car. So she's always home and wanting to hang out or ask me to drive her places. I do shift work and need my own space on my days off to recoup from work. And I just feel overwhelmed. How do I bring up that it makes me uncomfortable that everything keeps being moved around? Am I being petty or is this valid? No, this is your house. This is your house and she's a guest there. I don't understand why after she did that the first time, you didn't put the hammer down and say, look, don't touch my stuff. You don't move anything without my permission. Now, your stuff, really what you should have done is her stuff. Why did you tell her to put her stuff in storage? Only bring it to the house what she needs while she's there. Everything else should have went into storage somewhere. You messed up there, but it's not too late to tell her to do that. Tell her move all that extra stuff out, and your stuff is gonna stay in the house. It's gonna be where you put it. She gonna like it, or she can leave, and that stuff like that. I mean, I don't even understand why you. This is a question. This is your spot. She let her move in to help her. She has no rights there. She can't be moving your stuff like that. So I would move all my stuff back to where I had it and tell her anything that doesn't fit in the house comfortably, she needs to put it in a storage unit, and there you go. And make sure she signs a rental agreement, and make sure there's a specific end date to when she's supposed to be there. And so you can get her out. But you need to handle your stuff, legally, responsibly, like a landlord, so that you don't have any problems in the future. Child, please. You can't touch my stuff. I just not down with that kind of behavior. Let's move on to question number 2. This is a young lady, F26. We got 26 questions tonight. So you have time. If you have some friends who you want to bring on to the show, send them a link. It's fine. We'll be here for a minute. Question number 2, female, 18 to 21. She's from Southern California. How should I deal with this situation? Because it's really tearing me into bits. So I'm an 18-year-old girl, and I recently found out I'm a few weeks pregnant. I told my best friend, she's 19, of 4 years, and she freaked out and flat out told me to abort. We haven't talked since, but she keeps hounding me. I was pregnant at 15, but I lost the baby really early into the pregnancy, and she was very chill about it. What could have changed? My boyfriend told me that it's fully my decision what to do, but expressed to me that he feels absolutely terrible about the idea of aborting it. He is 18 as well. He told me that if I choose to keep it, he would move in with me and look for a job. I love them both so dearly, and I don't know what to do, really. And since I've had a miscarriage before, and aborting it sounds so cruel to me, but still like an option, I'm just upset that my best and honestly only friend freaked out so much that she won't even talk to me. I think I'm ready to be a mom, but I don't want to ruin anyone else's life. I feel really stuck in between choices, but I do have a little time to consider since I'm only 2 weeks in, according to the test I took today. And the last chance to get a termination without other complications is 12 weeks. I really hope someone who has been in a similar situation can tell me what they did and how it affected people involved. I'm sorry if there's any grammar mistakes. English is my third language. Oh my God, girl. No, I mean, nobody here is going to be bearing their soul like that. We don't do that here. But what I'm going to tell you is this. Let's go through this. How much money do you have in the bank? How much do you earn on your job? Do you make at least $50,000 a year? Do you have a degree? Not a high school diploma, any kind of degree where you can qualify to get a job that pays a decent wage. Do you have anything of your own? Like, you have your own place, you paying all your own bills, you're doing everything for yourself. Are you in school? Are you a student? Do you qualify for subsidized like food stamps, child care, that kind of stuff? Do you know? Are you supposed to be expected to pay full price for all this stuff? If the housing that you have is not really facilitated, it's not really designed for children, like if you're on campus or something like that, then you have to move. And then what you gonna do? Do you have the money to pay these high-ass rents that they have in California? It could be like $2,200 for a one-bedroom apartment or more. Are you prepared? Or are you gonna live in the hood for one of them $1,500 a month apartments where you have to dodge bullets and stuff? What you gonna do? Do you have enough money to do all of those things, plus pay daycare, plus pay for groceries, plus pay for health insurance, plus pay for any lost days because babies get sick a lot. So you're going to lose days of work. If you had a kind of job where you only get paid when you work, you're going to be broken and evicted before you know it with a newborn. Can you afford formula? Can you afford clothes? This is like a reality check for you. Because you talking about, I'm ready to be a mom. No, you're not. You dumb. You stupid. You're 18 and you're irresponsible. You think that this all it is that you have to think that you're ready. You're not ready, and you won't be for years. Not like this. Not with this kind of conversation you got going on. And he's gonna look, quote, look for a job. Why were you messing with some boy that didn't have a job in the first place? Why would you even touch him or let him touch you? He can't be responsible for anything because he don't have no damn money. So all in all, what I'm saying to you, I just ran through all those little options because you seem real stupid and like you don't understand what's involved here. This is not about you being, quote, ready to be a mama. This is about you having the financial, emotional, mental, and physical ability to provide for a child. You don't have it. So your friend is right. Take your happy ass to the nearest abortion clinic, clean up your act and put yourself on some birth control, finish school, and do what you need to do. Because this right here, you diverting your life with a baby would be the dumbest shit that you could ever do at 18 years of age. That's why your friend freaked out, because she can't believe she friends with somebody who's so stupid. Let me just be honest with you. Girl, if you don't handle your business and get rid of this shit here, get rid of that damn boyfriend and handle yourself responsibly. I'm not saying not to do the wild thing, but do the wild thing with some sense and some responsibility. Okay? Take care of your fertility so that you're not wasting it on situations like this. Oh, my goodness. It's already started, y'all. This is only the second letter. Yeah, these little girls, they get all emotional. But I can't my baby. It's my baby. It's this and that, this and that. And then they be sitting there holding the damn baby when the baby's born, and they only got a can of pork and beans in the cabinet, nothing in the refrigerator, and they don't have no money in their purse. And they sitting there, in the dark with candles lit, trying to figure out what happened and why their life is so screwed up. Because they depended on the baby daddy to move in and work and all this whole stuff here. And then he decides this is not the life he's looking for, and he deuces out. So he leaves you on your own with a baby. What you gonna do? That's why you don't plan your life around what some man says he's gonna do. You plan your life around what you can do for yourself. And right now at 18, there's not shit you can do because you don't have no options that makes sense to bring a child into it. Listen to me and get an abortion. The end. This makes no sense. Question number 3, female, 22 to 27. She's African American from Oakland, California. Oh, home girl. I'm struggling with standing up for myself when being harassed by men. Do you have any advice? Hi, Deb. I just need to get some advice. I consider myself a strong woman, but I have run into several situations where I freeze and I just don't stand up for myself when men harass me. I had a situation yesterday where I panicked into giving some creepy man in my apartment building my first name. It's a common generic name, so that makes me feel okay, I guess, because I got scared. He even asked if I was scared when I didn't give it to him, and after I said I wasn't, he continued to stand there and wait for me to tell him. I ended up just saying my first name because it caught off guard. I now know his first name and that he lives in the opposite building in my complex, but that's it. It's been bothering me, and I've been pondering on that all day. I decided not to even respond anymore when men acknowledge me or say hi in public, but for now, I'm just really upset with not standing up for myself. It makes me so angry that I even entertain that conversation. Any advice on dealing with that kind of shameful feeling? Also, do you acknowledge men when you're out in public? Nope. Not unless they're really old or really young. Like a little teenager, a little young man, he's like, hello, he does the head bob thing. Well, I know he's doing that as a sign of respect because in his mind, I'm an elder, right? Gray hair and shit. He's a kid compared to me. So he's doing this or, he's doing something like that. Or, wave, it's whatever little kid, they wave at you or something. So in a situation like that, yes, I acknowledge him. But somebody say like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years old, more in my age group, and they be trying to like holler and I don't feel like being bothered. No, I don't say anything to them. And there's no point in saying anything to them because that's to me, that encourages them to, they want to just like make like they passing you, right? You say, they say hi, and you say hi back. They make a U-turn and want to bother you. They don't know how to just say hi and keep it moving. They think that if a woman says hi back to him, that's an invitation for some ass. And so here they come. Well, what's your name? What's your number? And all this kind of stuff. That's why, it makes it really difficult for women to be friendly to men, and they don't get it. They don't understand how much of a bugaboo they are and how much they intrude on our space and in our lives and just get on our fucking nerves. And so that's why women won't talk to him, won't smile at him, won't even look at him, because of other men who have come into her life like that. So no, I don't do that. And the guy who asked you for your number, oh no, you said he asked you for your name. What you're supposed to do is say, well, why would you need to know that? This is the standard Deb answer when people ask inappropriate questions. Why would you need to know that? And he's going to be like, well, just because I want to know. Say, well, I don't think you need to know that. And then you keep going. Or, he says, well, what's your name? And he going to stand there, well, are you scared? I don't need to be scared not to give you information that I don't want to give you. I mean, well, who are you that I should give you my name anyway? And then you just look at him. Are you scared? I mean, you must be scared that you feel like you need to know my name or something, but you feel like I'm a threat. Just flip it around on him. Just, fuck with his mind a little bit. And he's going to be like, what you talking about? I mean, he'll be confused. But that's the goal, is just to leave him confused and just like, you flip the script on him. But basically what you have to learn, young lady, you need to learn it now, is that just because somebody asks you a question, you're not obligated to answer them. Even if you do answer them, you're not obligated to tell them the truth. So what you need to do, which I guess has gone out of style, this was a big thing in the 80s when I was clubbing, was to have a club name. You have a club name. It's not your real name, but it's a name you're familiar enough with because you've given it out all over the place. So that's your club name. Y'all need to bring that back. Bring back the club name thing, and that's the name that you give to random knickknacks along with your Google phone number. Okay? You don't need to give them your real name. They don't need to know. First, last, nothing. Just think of something crazy. Fufu. Letitia. Pigoletto. I mean, whatever you want to say, but it doesn't have to be your real name. Just because they ask, you don't, like I said, you don't have to give them an answer, and it definitely doesn't have to be the truth. So you think about that for a minute and start preparing yourself. You need to run through these scenarios because you only, you say you 22, 27. Okay. So let's just say you're 25. Then you just getting started good. For the next 15 or 15 years, this is going to be your life because they be in your face all the time, no matter where you go, especially if you're cute. It's endless. The harassment that men will just try to get in your face like that. So you better figure out how you're going to handle it. Those are my suggestions. You figure out what works best for you, and then you come up with a plan, and then you execute it. And that's what you do. You never have to tell them the real answer. Never have to tell them your real name. Yes, look at Shay typing all that stuff. Go, Shay. Shay is like the best moderator ever. I probably, I've done some shows without Shay, but I tell you, honestly, I just felt nervous the whole time because I kept looking like, what kind of food's going to come in here, what I'm going to do. And sometimes you guys are good, you point them out, but still, in these kind of shows where I need to concentrate on giving the person the answer, I just breathe better when she's here. That's just the way it is. Question number 4. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's from San Antonio. Summary of issue. Oh, wait, this is a male. I said female. I'm sorry. This is a male, 18 to 21. He's 20. He says, I accidentally pushed my partner of 6 months boundaries at a work event while I was drunk, and now we are not talking. Oh, you idiot. Let me start by saying that I didn't push her boundaries, eggplantedly. That's not to say that what I did was okay, but I just thought I'd preface by saying that. So she and I were at her work event, and I got a bit drunk, quite drunk, actually. Apparently, I was getting really obsessive over her and really rubby-dubby with her, and she wasn't comfortable with it. I don't remember any of it, so I can't really say what I did wrong. But what I can say is that we're both really dubby most of the time in private. So at the time, it would have been safe to assume that I would have thought it was okay had it not been in public. But where it gets complicated is that we work together and our relationship is secret. Well, it ain't a secret no more. We're in the same department and we've been trying to avoid the appearance of using each other to sleep up to progress in our careers. She's upset that I was so lovey-dovey in a place where could have blown our cover, and now she's wanting some space from me. I struggle with with giving people I'm romantically interested in space from a past trauma. Yes, I know this is a me problem that I'm going to have to learn to deal with one day. So I'm worried that I may inadvertently either go completely cold or get too overwhelming for her liking. I have ASD. What's that? So communication is really difficult for me. Oh, antisocial disorder. Is that what that is? ASD. So I guess what I'm wanting help with is, how do I approach this? Do I periodically check in with her? If so, how do I make sure that I don't scare her off? Do I give her space? And if so, how do I make sure I don't seem cold? I really love her and I'm generally worried I might have effed things up so bad. So any advice would be greatly appreciated. These questions that you're asking me, you need to ask her, because I don't know. I don't know what it is where in that spectrum that you just mentioned is her comfort zone. You need to ask her these, sir, because whatever it is that she's comfortable with, that's what you do. Whatever she tells you she wants you to do or not do, that's how you handle yourself. So this conversation right here is, in spite of the fact that I would love to help you, I cannot, because this is a you and specifically her issue. It's not a generic type of thing. You misbehaved at her work event with her and exposed the relationship that the two of you have at her job. And so, at the job. And so she's not happy with that. So this is very particular, very specific type of situation. And the only way that you're going to resolve this is be able to sit down with her and say, okay, I know what I did was wrong, made you uncomfortable. How do you suggest that we conduct ourselves in the future? And that's what you do. Whatever she tells you, that's what you do. Oh, is that what it is? Autism? Well, she better than me. I just can't date people with issues. Question number 5. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. She's white European from London. Summary of issue. My boyfriend's ADHD is taking a toll on our relationship. Okay, here we go. So my boyfriend has really bad ADHD, which I didn't realize how bad it was for him until he moved in with me. He's 28 and no, I'm 28 and he's 30, by the way. I try to be understanding because I know it's hard for him to deal with. He's on medication at the moment, but I feel like no meds have helped so far. The thing is, I feel like I'm at my wit's end with him, but feel guilty at the thought of breaking up. Still, we constantly argue because I'm always angry and annoyed with him for just about everything, particularly how bad his money management is. I know it's because of his ADHD, but it's absolutely infuriating seeing him waste his money when he has other priorities to take care of. He's constantly buying things he doesn't need, and our room feels like a storage closet at this point. Although we live with my mom, we pay her rent, but he hasn't paid the rent in almost 2 years. And it's not like it's that much either between the two of us. Whenever I ask for the money he owes me, he always excuses it on his end. He doesn't have it because he's always spending it on useless shit. Like he's currently obsessed with perfumes and he's bought over 50 different kinds. Like, what the hell? It's just one of the many things he's gotten obsessed with and wastes all his money on. I contribute financially for everything and it's taxing. It's not like I'm rich. I just know how to save. I started hating going out with him because I know I'll be the one having to pay for everything. Our relationship doesn't feel like a partnership, but like a burden. Due to this, I'm always angry and annoyed at him and I lash out. I know it's not the right way to deal with my emotions, but whenever I try to seriously talk to him about it, it doesn't go anywhere. I feel like I love him as a person, but I'm no longer in love with him. I have even told him this, yet we continue on for some reason because you haven't kicked him out. I just feel tired of it all, but after being with him for so long, I just don't know. I know he doesn't have the money to move out, so I would feel bad kicking him out, but I just feel trapped and that my mental health is taking a toll. It doesn't really have much family, so he can rely on, so hence another reason why I'm apprehensive to kick him out. I care for him, but I see no future with him, yet I tell him this and nothing changes. Any advice on how to deal with it, or should I just break up with him and move on? No, this is what you're going to do. You're going to open up an account on eBay. And then you're going to start selling all that crazy shit that he bought. That's what you're going to do. And you're not going to spend the money. You're going to save the money for him. And then the day that you want him to get out, you're going to give him that money and you're going to say, get out. Here's all the money I've made from selling all that useless shit that you piled into my mother's house. And now we want you out. The problem is that he's been living there for all this time. You're going to have to formally evict him like he's a tenant. This is why you were stupid. This is why you never let a man move in with you. Ever do you let a man move in with you unless you have a rental agreement. And even that, then I don't think it's a good idea. You, if he wants somebody to live with him, you move into his spot. So when you're ready to go, you can boop like I do. I never move. You ain't coming to my house. I don't even let him come to my house. I mean, if they come in, it's like the sky has opened up and Moses, the Red Sea has parted, and Moses and Jesus and everybody then had a dance party on the water. That's how special and unique it is for a man to come to my house. So I'll go to theirs though. I'll move if you want me to live with you. We gonna live in at your house because when I'm ready to go, I'm gonna pack my stuff and I'm gonna deuce out. And I don't owe you nothing after that. Don't call me, forget you know me. That's how I do things. But you ladies who let the men move in with you, then you end up taking care of them and paying all the bills and doing so. Oh, hell no. I would never do that. So that's why I say never let a man move in with you. You move in with him if you have to. And you don't pay nothing for him because that's his spot. That's his stuff. But you and your mother messed up. I don't know why your mother let him move in to her house. Why you gonna let some dude move into your house like that? He ain't paying no money. And you just gonna be okay with that? You let some dude pimp your daughter like that? See what I mean about these parents? I just don't get it. Your daughters you young ladies learn uselessness from your mother because she don't have no boundaries and no spine either. So that's my suggestion. You're going to have to look into what you need to do to legally evict him. But in the meantime, you open up your eBay account and you start selling. He got all these perfumes. He got all this stuff. Like you can say, use one time or something like that. And most people will buy it. He's buying, $90, $100 perfumes, colognes, whatever. You can sell them, I don't know. So say it costs him $120. You sell it for $75. People are going to buy it. It's been used one time. And you can show them, on the bottle how much is left. And then you send it to them. They give you your money. You send it to them. And there you go. So all the money that, like I said, all the money you collect, you put it into an account or you just, cash it out and put it in envelopes and lock it up somewhere. And then when he's ready for him to be gone, you give him the envelope and tell him this is your move out money. And I made it by selling all the shit that you bought and it was packing up the house with. That's what you do. Okay, let me see. What did I skip? I skipped something. Oh, okay. Here we go. Question number 6. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group. She's white from Macon, Georgia. Summary of issue. How do I get over the anxiety of encountering a creep? So she's 20 and the creepy dude is in his late 20s. I was at the bus stop a few days ago and this guy sat down next to me and told me that I reminded him of his girlfriend and he mistook me for her and was about to kiss me. I was on the phone with my boyfriend the whole time, by the way. Anyways, we got to talking and I don't know why I felt compelled to answer his stupid ass. I guess it was because I was intimidated and didn't want to ignore him in case he retaliated against me. So he knows my name, my age, and the general area where I live because of the bus I caught and the questions he was asking me. I was so stupid telling him that I thought it was harmless at first, but right after it happened, I felt so much regret. He kept complimenting my eyes and saying that they remind him of his girlfriends and told me about her. He also kept asking weird shit like, how long does it take from your house to reach X area? To which I responded, I don't know. He kept asking if I want to marry my boyfriend, which I said yes to. He was being weird, but I couldn't bring myself to walk away until my bus came. He wanted to know my last name, my number, my socials. When I declined, he asked for my boyfriend's number. Anyways, he kept trying to talk to me even when I put my earphones on and tried to ignore him and to continue the conversations. He went so far as to discuss religious beliefs, so I asked him, what do you believe in? And he pointed to a girl's ass in shorts who was walking by. I felt so disgusted, I told him to stop it if he allegedly has a girlfriend. He played it off as a joke and started to degrade women who wear short shorts. He demonstrated the links that were too much, inappropriate links, by touching my thigh and my leg. I felt so stupid and helpless. Wow. Now my problem is not so much what happened because I moved past it. My issue is I don't want to see him again at that stop. I've thankfully never seen or acknowledged him prior to this, so I'm praying it was only a one-time occurrence. The people I've told just advised me to ignore it and not pay it any attention, but I don't really know what to do. It was around 5:30 p.m. and I'm even considering avoiding those times to catch the bus. Ugh, I hate feeling like this. I feel so stupid and dramatic. It never got physical. Yes, it did. He touched you. That's physical. What are you talking about? But it still freaks me out. I honestly hate that freak so bad, and I wish nothing but the worst for him. I wish my boyfriend was there to honestly, he would have beat his ass. Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. You can't go through life dependent on a man to be all up under you and protect you. You have to learn some street smarts, which right now don't seem like you have any. You on the bus, okay? You at the bus stop, you waiting by yourself. In a situation like that, I don't know what your money situation is, but what you should have done is called an Uber, called a taxi, called a Lyft, called somebody to get you up out of there with the quickness. What you don't do is stand there and allow yourself to be engaged by a fool asking you all kind of personal questions about yourself. So, you know, he asked you your name, your number and stuff, and you didn't give it to him, thank goodness. But he asked you some other issues, questions, and you did give him the answer. Again, another young lady who needs to learn the club rules name. Club rules. You can even set up a social profile with under that name. I don't know, Instagram, whatever you need to do so that that club name has a legitimate presence online, since that's how y'all live these days. That club name thing has a name, it has posts, it has, you know, whatever's on it. And that's where you direct them to if you feel like you must give them something. Because a lot of young ladies don't feel like they can safely say no. So that's why I'm saying this. You set up your persona as a real person and you direct them to that with your Google phone number. Okay. So even if they see you again and they say, oh, I called you. Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, I don't know. I haven't really checked my messages yet. Or, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really feeling it, my brother. I don't, want to do that. Well, I mean, whatever you want to say, but that's my suggestion, to kind of put up a barrier. But the main thing is, once he put his like monkey mitts on you, you need you a stun gun or something so you can start dropping motherfuckers, because that's just ridiculous. Yeah, Nerly, that's what a club name is. It's a fake name. It's not your real name. It's like I said, this was big in the 70s and 80s. I mean, everybody, all the women had a club name, but that seems to have fallen out of favor. And so now that in the advent of social media, young women be giving their real names out, which I just don't understand. And they real, pictures and all this kind of stuff. I mean, if you have a fake persona on, under your club name online, you can definitely use your same, your real picture. But I would use something like a profile. I don't know. I would use something that wasn't like a full face thing. I don't know, or not have social media altogether, either or. I only have it because it helps me with my, promote what I'm doing on this channel and my books and stuff. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be on social media. It's just a waste of time. Question number 7, female in the 18 to 21 age group out of the UK. Tell me your issue. Will I miss out on good men by wanting to be friends first and saying that in my dating profile? You asking the wrong question. I mean, the wrong person. I'm 20 years old and I'm new to online dating, but I don't like meeting people with the intention to date. What? I would rather just use dating apps to make friends and just see how it goes. And if it goes well, then get into a relationship, like maybe 8 months or a year later. But is this even realistic in this culture? I just feel weird going on, quote, dates with strangers and doing datey things like holding hands with someone I only met 2 times. Is this expectation too unrealistic? Will I miss out on guys who are actually good and will commit eventually? Like, I don't want casual relationships and stuff, but will saying I want to be friends first scare away actual dudes who want to commit? As I was told that if I say I want to be friends first, I'll attract guys who aren't really looking for relationships, but rather casual things. I want a relationship eventually, but I want to start off as friends first because new friends are always good. I don't think we can actually judge each other's character if we are doing dating things like holding hands and stuff so early on because we may like that idea of a relationship, but not actually like a relationship with that person. I hate rushing things. I'm generally a paranoid type of person. Is this an unrealistic expectation of mine? Am I better off just conforming to dating culture if I want to find anyone and stop being so paranoid? Thanks, Deb, she says. I'm going to say this. Um, you do you. If you want to be friends first and that's what you say and that's what you mean, then you do that. Now, I'm not going to, you're not going to miss out on a relationship. What you would miss out on is dudes who want to, play and pretend like they want a relationship and then they just dip out on the girl. So by you slowing them down like this, putting up the barriers on the front end, most dudes who just want to tap it are not going to stick around. So you're looking at it like, am I going to be eliminating some potential relationship partners who would have settled down and want me eventually? It doesn't work like that. Either they want you right away or they don't. I've never seen it, you know, really work like that. Either the guy really likes you right off the bat, even if you friend zone him, he still likes you and he's still interested in a relationship with you immediately, or he just not. And I mean, if you offer yourself up like a tasty snack, he gonna take a bite, but that doesn't mean he wants you though. So you don't want casual relationships. I think that would be the approach to take, but don't be surprised when none of the guys want to go out with you because they're on the swipey things because they just want to hook up. So you on a hookup type of platform talking about I just want to be a friend. It's odd that you think that that's where you should make that happen. That's all I'm saying. Question number 8, female, 22 to 27. She's from Chicago suburbs of Illinois. Summary of issue. I am receiving some unwanted affection from an upstairs neighbor. I'm 27 and he's 40-ish. Hey, ladies of the squad, I'm not sure what to do, and I thought maybe someone here might have some advice for me or have run into a similar situation before. So when I got home to my apartment today, there was flowers hanging from the doorknob with a note. The note said to my name, love you, love, letter U, from the apartment above me. The apartment has 2 men living in it, both of whom are quite a bit older than me, and don't really ever talk to me. So I'm a little confused, and I also don't feel the same way. For one thing, I don't know them, and for another thing, these two seem quite a bit old. Although it's a nice gesture, I'm afraid saying thank you might encourage him, and saying nothing might make the person angry, and I don't really want to move apartments. Not sure what to do here. Any advice is appreciated. Thank you. What you should have done was gone and set them outside of, okay, so say you have a door and then you have to walk in and then there's your door to your unit. I don't know, maybe you just enter right off the street and he's, upstairs. Let's say it's the kind where you walk in off the street. Then what I would have done is taken those flowers and set them outside on the bottom floor, right by the parking garage or right by the bushes or something like that, and left them there. So when he sees them, it's a clear message that I don't want anything to do with you, and I don't know what the fuck you're trying to pull here. Once you bring him into your house, see, that means you've accepted his gesture. So you never want to do that. Anybody gives you something like that you don't want, and make sure you put on some rubber gloves or you touch it with a towel too, because these dudes have been putting weird drugs on stuff. And then so you touch it, and then you get like, kind of incapacitated. And then the next thing you know, it's a SA. So be careful with that. Rubber gloves, I buy them in a 3-pack from Costco. I keep a pack in my car. I keep a pack in my house. And I keep a pack at wherever I'm doing a contract or anything like that. I have some because I'm not touching shit. That's just how I roll. Because here in Oakland for a while, you know what they was doing? They was, okay, so say you have like a trunk or your door latch or something like that. They were spraying it with this stuff. It looks like a spider web, but you touch it and you have, it's like it's drugged. I don't know what it was, but I saw it on, police, I read these police bulletins and stuff, and it had been happening to so many women, and they get like kind of like paralyzed. They can't move. So, I was glad I don't, if I see anything weird, I don't touch it. I put on one of my gloves and then I touch it. Because, you got to get in your car, but I'm not touching it with my bare hand. I'm not doing that. So be cognizant of that kind of stuff. But anybody leaving something at your door, by your car, anything like that. Don't touch it. And if you got to move it. You can use a stick, a branch of a tree. Whatever you need to do, lift it up and move it out the way. But what you don't want to do is bring it into your house. Okay. You don't want to put it in your car, nor do you want to bring it into your house. You want to keep it outside of your sphere. And so, yeah, that would be what I would have suggested to you. You don't say what you did with the flowers that were hanging on your door, but that would have sent a very clear message to him that you're not trying to hear what he's talking about. And then he knows what that meant, and then he would have left you alone. My God, yeah, it's a trip. It looked like because I saw it, right? It looked like spider webs, like heavy spider, like what they call them, cobwebs. It looked like cobwebs, but it's something that they spun, and it was some kind of drug, and they was putting it on door handles of women around here in the East Bay. Yeah, it was some scary stuff. They constantly this sex trafficking stuff ain't no joke. So y'all be careful. Question number 8. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the one I just read. Question number 9. Male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Asian, from Montreal, Canada. The female in question, same age group, 22 to 27, and she's white. Summary of issue. My girlfriend is diminishing my grief, in my opinion. For context, 3 months ago, my father passed away, which was tough, but I'm coming to terms with it. A few days ago, my partner's pet bird died. Okay, so 3 months and then a few days. Got it. I understand that the loss of a pet is a trying time for anyone. I'm doing my best to show empathy and patience, as she is really upset. However, she keeps comparing the death of her bird to the death of my dad. Statements such as, quote, I can finally relate to what you've been going through, end quote, and, quote, I can't handle my family being broken like this, end quote, are quite rapidly causing me to lose patience. I know it's not a grieving competition, so I haven't said anything, but I feel like the comparison grossly diminishes what I've been dealing with, and it bothers me a lot. Any advice on how to broach this subject? You good, because I would have been acting a fool. So as she started trying to compare that shit, trying to you understand? No, bitch, you don't understand shit. Because you could go to Petco and buy you 10 of them little bitch ass birds. I can't go nowhere to replace my father. How the fuck you figure that that's the same? Anywhere in this universe is that even similar? You on some bullshit right now. And I would have sent her ass packing. That's so fucking disrespectful. I'm all for people loving their pets and shit, but like, a parent, you only get one daddy. You get one mother. You can get 15 cockatoos or whatever the fuck kind of bird she had. It don't matter. They all the same. You just go and buy another one. Just like a Honda. Just get another one. It's the same thing. Parents, not so much. Human beings, not so much. So that's to me is very disrespectful, dismissive, and like just totally something I wouldn't want to be bothered with. So like I'm saying, it's a miracle that you didn't cuss her out. But you better tell her before this resentment builds to the point where you explode on her. You seem like you're trying to handle this and give her what she needs emotionally, but you feel like she's not giving you what you need emotionally. And I agree with you. So I would sit her down and say, look, this what you talking about is some bullshit. And then use the analogy that I just said and see what she says. Question number 10. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. She's from Los Angeles. Summary of issue. Why are people still going to nightclubs if they aren't going to approach you? Okay. In light of Governor Newsom's lifting of the state of emergency in California, that happened yesterday at 11:59 p.m. It ended. So as of today, we don't have to wear masks no more. Everything is back to normal. But unfortunately, a lot of the emergency funding for food, shelter, and other kind of stuff that people got for the COVID emergency also ended. So it's about to be interesting around here. So she wants to know, why are people still going to nightclubs if they aren't going to approach? So she says, in light of that lack of, the loss of the state of emergency, I decided to go out and party. So I was at a nightclub last weekend. This was the first time I have been in a very long time. And I noticed that despite the huge crowd and the loud music, most of the guys were not dancing. They were just walking around or hanging back, looking at their phone and head bobbing, with most of the girls dancing on the dance floor, either by themselves or in small groups of 2 or 3. This reminded me so much of a junior high school dance. What is going on? These are all adults over the age of at least 21. Why would you go to a club and spend all that money on drinks just to hang back and ride the bench? It makes no sense. Can you explain to me? No, I sure can't. I don't know. But you got to realize, people are going to start being out. It's about to be summer. People going to be out. But that doesn't mean, I don't know. To me, like after going through the COVID thing, it exposed a lot of people's social ineptitude and mental illness. So, what you're going to be running into just because they can get out the house now and they still got them same mental issues and them social awkward things going on, that's what you're going to see a lot of. So, I suggest that if you want to dance, you better go ask one of them. They'll probably say yes, but don't be mad if he can't dance because he don't know what he's doing. And to me, like a man who can't dance is somebody that we're not going to do the horizontal mambo, because if you don't have any kind of coordination and control of your body and you can't even keep a beat on the dance floor, that means you can't keep one in bed either. They go hand in hand. You don't have no rhythm on the dance floor, your ass don't have none in bed neither. So you ladies need to pay attention that a guy who's a bad dancer or tells you he can't dance, he can't fuck none either. So you better watch out. Don't waste your time as you go into clubs this summer, because everybody going to be out, because it's the first time people been able to go out in 3 years. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Denver. Summary of issue. How do I make my life more interesting so I don't smother my partner? I've been seeing this guy for about a month and a half, and he's already had several conversations about how it's not reasonable for me to expect him not to be able to spend time with me every day I want him to. We both work and are in university, but he's in a band, is close with his family, and has several good friends that he hangs out with. I live a 9-hour drive away from my family, and I don't have any friends I'd hang out with other than my family in my hometown. So naturally, when I'm not at work or in class, I'd like to spend time with him. We usually see each other 2 to 3 times a week, ranging from an hour for lunch to a sleepover. I'd like to see him more, but he is a very busy person and seems to be keeping up with all his responsibilities and relationships and working towards a good future. I'm just one piece of his life that he manages to balance, which I think is a healthy way of looking at a partner. I want to know what you ladies do to make your life more interesting and fulfilling in addition to dating someone. I really don't want to lose him, and I can tell he's getting annoyed that I get upset every time he says we can't hang out. Is it more of a mindset thing, or starting to go to the gym, picking up more shifts at work? You need to figure it out. I can't tell you because I don't know what your interests are, where your interests lie. But a boyfriend cannot be your hobby. A boyfriend cannot be your sole interest. A boyfriend cannot be your fucking entertainment. Grow up. Okay, you're just trying to glob on the boy and just choke all the life out of him. When you act like that, there's no excitement about being with you. Instead, he's trying to get away from you because you're sucking all the life out of him. That's what you're doing. You're not creating a space for him to miss you and want to be with you and long for you. Instead, he's like, oh my gosh, she's just choking the life out of me. I can't catch a breath because she want to be with me and up under me all the time. That's what he's feeling. You better correct this course right now. Talking about you don't want to lose him. That's the direction you headed. And it won't be like you lost him, because it's not like you own him or anything, but he's going to separate from you just so he can breathe. This is unbelievable. Girl, you better get it together. Figure out how the things you're interested in this classes. Painting, dance, exercise, I don't know, some fitness classes, I don't know, how to build stuff, learn how to do some cooking class. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do to occupy yourself, and then you could bring that to the relationship and make the relationship more interesting and more fun. Art, some pottery, jewelry making. I don't know whatever it is that you're interested in, explore it and then make it happen. Question number 12. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary of issue. Is there anything I can do about my ex-boyfriend, calling me and refusing to stop? I am 22 and I dated this nut job 23-year-old from 2015 to 2018. Oh my God. I haven't talked to him since. He was violent and mentally unstable. He wound up in jail. I have seen him, I have him blocked, but he still tries to contact me years later. For some reason, although he is blocked, I can see his calls in my call history and get his voicemails, even though I had never seen the call. He's called me over 20 times since last summer. I've asked him to stop numerous times. He left voicemail saying he still loves me and he hasn't moved on, hasn't been with anybody else, etc., as well as angry messages swearing and screaming at me for not answering. He hasn't threatened me, so I can't go to the cops, but he's mentally unstable and can be violent. Every time I see he's called, I get scared he will show up to my house or something. I don't know what to do. First of all, you call whatever agency is in your area where they have probation officers, because he just got out of jail. He's on probation. So you find out who his probation officers are, and then you forward those angry messages to him and all them texts and all that stuff that he's sending you. And you say, he's like stalking me. I want him to stop. I want it on record that this is what's going on, and I want you to help me end this. Okay. Then you may have to change your number, which I'm surprised you haven't done already. I mean, as soon as he went to jail, I would have changed mine so that when he was in there and when he got out, he couldn't call me. But you didn't. So, it might be time to do that though. But yeah, I would involve his probation officer. Involve the legal system that's already got him in a chokehold. Involve them in it. Because he think he just going to get away with this and do this with impunity. I would be not have that probation. I was like, oh no, motherfucker, you keep doing this, I'm gonna put you back in jail. You better leave that girl alone. That kind of stuff. That's what I would do. Just make his life miserable. Yeah. Question number 13. This is a young lady in 22 to 27 age group. She's Latinx from Cape Coral, Florida. So I'm at issue. Why would my aunt, she's in her 40s, spread lies about me? I'm only 25 at my job and at family gatherings. I am heartbroken. My close family member lies about me at work and in family gatherings behind my back. Long story short, this year I discovered that she's been talking bad about me, saying I have stole from her, even her passport. They don't have passports as they are undocumented. And oh, damn, and other insane things. When my coworkers have confronted her saying I am the sweetest girl they know, she lies and says that they don't know me. She also had said that I believe I'm prettier than others, and she thinks I have a terrible body. Not true. Also, I don't care how people perceive me, but she hypocritically said that she thought I had a good body. This happens for years in the job. However, now she said that even in a family gathering, as my dad heard her, I was traveling abroad, that her brother said I stole from him. When I never go to this home and I have someone that can vouch for me that lives there. My dad didn't want to tell me, but I was able to quickly realize his concern. I had control of all his money and never stole anything, but he did not defend me. He's a pushover. So you got a spineless ass daddy? Also, a coworker told me that without me bringing nothing up recently, so everything fits. I feel so disgusted and angry and heartbroken. I don't know how to handle this, nor why she does this behavior. Well, if it happens on the job, you have the whole power of HR behind you. So you have witnesses. So people can go and, they say what she's been doing, and she can get fired for that. That would be one aspect. You might not want to do it though, because it's your auntie or whatever, you all concerned and worried. But the bitch in me, I would have been like, yes, hello, HR. This is a problem. Look what she's doing to me. She's trying to destroy my career and my reputation. And it's totally inappropriate. It's unprofessional. And it shines bad on you as a company. I would just put all that on there so they would be like, yeah, this bitch need to go. This is terrible. That's how I would handle it. But you have to realize when you have someone who sounds like a female narcissist. We're not supposed to diagnose, but I'm just telling you about her behavior. It's in that camp as far as what's, all the standards for what meets the standards to make someone's behavior meet the level of being a narcissist. She's exhibiting them. The main thing is, they hate that somebody else has a spotlight. So the fact that you've worked at this job and all these people like you, she's not going to like that. So she's going to do everything she can to destroy you and your reputation and make people not like you and like her instead. That's what your goal is. But that's why you got to get HR involved as quickly as possible. The company can protect you from this because they don't like the bitch shit going on at the job. It's not a good look for their clients and stuff. Question number 14. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group. She's African American from Clarksville, Tennessee. The female in question is 22 to 27, and she's white. Okay. Serve issue: how to confront my coworker for interrupting me while I'm working and talking. At work, I have one coworker who's always been treated differently because out of all the staff, she's more confrontational towards customers and more assertive, I guess. I found her rude because she had a habit of interrupting everyone when they're taking orders. She would respond to the customer even when they're talking to me. And has always bothered me, but I guess that in her head, she thinks she's helping us because she's the only member of the staff that's a native English speaker. And sometimes I don't do well when I'm answering an unusual question. So where are you from? Native English. You must be from some other country. Okay. Anyway, this week she's been extremely annoying. The week started with her talking over me when I'm talking to a customer, and talking over me when we're having a conversation, talking over me when a customer asks me about something that happened to me. Like, she's 24 and she should know better. It bothers me that she acts like she's in charge and that she has to overlook what everyone else is doing, even when someone else is just as capable as she is. I'd like to talk to her about that, but I don't know how to start the conversation. My initial way of dealing with this is just letting it be because I know she's in the wrong. And I doubt she'll change if I say anything. But I also know if I don't say anything, it's like letting her win. Overall, any advice on how to get rid of that mentality? I don't want to appear weak anymore. Well, the only way that you can not appear weak, you have to stand up for yourself, sweetie. You got to stand up for yourself. So let me pull this page back, okay? She is confrontational towards customers. She's rude. How much if I were the company, I would be looking at that and like, how much is she costing us? And what's she doing to our reputation for customer service? Because that's all the company has. The stuff that they offer in the stores, the prices, everything's pretty similar. You know what I mean? It's a few cents difference, maybe as much as $1. But overall, there's really a lot. They ain't offering nothing special. Target has the same shit as Walmart, is the same, it's just the same stuff. So where you go, the only difference is going to be how you're treated, what kind of service you get. That's what's going to make you want to go back to that business. And smart business people know that. But if you have someone who's acting like this, then what kind of damage is she doing to the reputation? I would sure point that out to the senior management. Now you're talking, right? And she's talking over you. Why can't you say, excuse you, I was talking? And everybody from kindergarten on knows you don't interrupt people. What is this? And you could say that in front of the people that she's doing it for. Or you could say, stop talking. Stop interrupting people. It's rude. And you act like you have no home training. You might not want to throw that part in, but I would. But definitely call her out for being rude. Or, let me see. She responds to the customer when they're asking you. You can say, that person was talking to me, not to you. So why are you interjecting yourself into the conversation that's not meant for you? Or, I don't know. Talking over me when we're having a conversation. Talking over me when a customer asks me about. Okay, says she's just liking to talk over you. So at some point, and her acting like she's in charge is like, excuse you, you ain't nobody's supervisor. Nobody has to listen to you. You got some shit confused. You until you get the title of supervisor, don't tell me nothing. Okay, I'm not listening to a word you say because you and I are peers. We're on the same level, and there's nothing about what I'm doing that is under your supervision or charge. So back up, step off, shut up, leave me. Well, however you want to handle it. But those are all the kind of things that you have to find your voice, especially you're young right now. This is your future. You're gonna, as you go through jobs and your career, you're gonna find all kinds of annoying, bullying, like obnoxious people that you're gonna have to learn how to check. Just even recently, I'm doing this new contract, right? I'm in the office. This lady's, they hired me to do specific things, right? I'm doing specific things connected with their website and some media stuff that they want to do. So, obviously, if they had to go outside to get a contractor, then whoever they have inside is not qualified to do this job, correct? Right? Otherwise, they would have got, you know what I mean? They got a contract. Okay. So she sort of said, well, you're having this meeting, and I want to be in the meeting. I said, well, all right. Well, something I want to know. I said, no, too many cooks spoil the soup. And she just looked at me and then she says, I'm going to tell. She actually said this woman has to be in her 60s, 50 something. I mean, she old. And she's like, well, I'm going to tell. I'm like, help yourself, knock yourself out. So the manager told her, well, no, she's going to be handling that. You don't need to be in that meeting. And she had her lip stuck out, white chick. She had her lip stuck out because it's like, she feels like I'm doing something that she should be involved in. And it's like, you don't understand. You step on my toes, I'm going to cuss your bitch ass out because I don't work here. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about this business. I will give you this money back and leave y'all hanging. I don't care. But one thing I'm not going to do is have you run an interference in what I'm trying to do. This is what they paid me to do. You sit your ass over there and do what they're paying you to do. That's where we're going next. That'll probably happen sometime next week when I go back in there. But yeah, you have to be very vocal. You have to be very firm with your boundaries. And basically, you got to put bitches in check because they just be doing the most. Being them little Karen types want to run stuff. And I'm like, So this is a good lesson for you to learn while you're young. You have to put people in check. You cannot let them run your life. You cannot let them boss you, talk over you, disrespect you, cross your boundaries, do anything to you that you don't like. You have to be very firm with your boundaries. And so, I just put her and her boss in check like that. It's like, no, we're not doing that. This is what I'm being paid to do, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it without any interference from either of you. And so they were like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, that works for us. Use that for a short? Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. I will do that. Because it's an important issue that keeps coming up. Question number 15. This is a young lady in the 42 to 49 age group. She's African American. She's a Leo from New York City. The other party she's writing about is a female who's 42 to 49, white and Aquarius. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not a female, a male. Summary of issue. Date feels disrespected for lack of reciprocation. Hi, Deb. I've been on 5 dates with a French man in the past 3 months. Our first date was for coffee. It was really fun. The rest of the dates were filled with conversations about the difference between French and American culture, great food, laughter, music, and kisses. Our last date was particularly fun and romantic because it ended with us dancing. We've always left each other smiling. Well, to my surprise, I received a text from him saying that he wants me to treat and take him out the same way he's taking me out. He texted that you know what I'm trying to say, is a sign of, quote, respect, and that he wouldn't be able to respect himself if he didn't tell me this. I haven't responded yet. Deb, I am truly perplexed. Does he want me to take him out like a girl? Like dinner, dessert, wine, a tip, etc.? I haven't dated in quite a while, so it's really nice to have a gentleman treat me like a lady and take me on some real dates. However, I don't know what to think since he threw this wrench in the mix. Funny thing is, I actually had been thinking of fun things for us to do together before he texted me. Could this be because we kissed but nothing more? Not for his lack of trying in a gentlemanly way. I'm attracted to him, but I believe in taking it slow when it comes to the whole eggplant scenario. Also, he's a musician, so maybe he's on a budget. A girlfriend of mine that travels to Paris told me that French men are cheap. I don't follow stereotypes because I don't want to be stereotyped myself. I date interracially, but I don't have any experience in this case. What are your thoughts and how would you respond to this text? Is this a man thing, a cultural thing, or the new dating norm? Thank you so much in advance and for all that you do for us. Your wisdom is greatly appreciated. I would have texted him back and said, what? What are you trying to say? Because, you want to buy time. And plus, you want him to explain himself because in a situation like that, you don't really want to assume anything. You could text him back and say that and say, call me so we can talk about this. So then he would call, right? The phone rings and he's like, yeah, I want some reciprocation and this and that. It's like, okay, so you want me to treat you like a little bitch. That's what you want. You want me to be the man and you want me to take you out and wine and dine you like you're a broad. That's what you're telling me? And so when you put it that way, then he would be like stuttering. Well, no, I mean, it's not say, no, I don't take men out. Now, if that's, what's going on is you mad because you didn't get no cooch. You feel like you earned it and you paid enough money, so now you owed some pussy. It don't work like that, motherfucker. And so if that's a problem for you, then just end this bullshit right now. I was having a really good time with you, but I guess everything must come to an end. So lose my number and just hang up on him. Now that will teach him a valuable lesson. Number one, don't think that just because you got some cooch early in the relationship before from other women that every woman is the same. And it's not about what you spend, it's about the connection you make with her. And that woman's morals and that woman's values, as far as how she feels about getting, horizontal with you, is what's going to come into play. She has to be comfortable to her level of satisfaction for herself to feel free, easy, and comfortable with you. Every woman is different. So he feels like, he done paid enough and he don't want to pay no more. And now he expecting something. And then you better, that means he's sitting off the bank. And that means it's time for you to pay, start paying for him. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him. And I wouldn't necessarily say that unless he came back and got jiggy. But I would definitely tell him that, explain to him that you're trying to put me in a position where I'm going to be the man and I'm paying for you like you a little bitch. And we're not going to do that. Okay. So if that's what you want, you need to go find that somewhere else. Au revoir, since he's French. How you say fuck you in French? Somebody need to fill me in. But yeah, that's how you need to do that. But he needs to have a conversation with you. But bottom line is you say that's not going to happen. And if that's a problem for you, then we can stop seeing each other right now because I'm not going to treat you like a girl and take you out. That's not going to happen. Yeah, somebody tell me how to say fuck you, motherfucker, in French. Question number 16. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Black from an Aquarius from Memphis, Tennessee. Summary of issue: I'm dealing with a judgmental father that always have something to say. My daddy's 49 and he always got something to say whenever I want to do something for myself. Going out with friends, exercising at the gym, dating, going out most times during the summer. If I say I'm going somewhere, it's like he's trying to talk me out of going. Literally would ask me point blank, well, why do you want to go? It may not seem like a big deal, but constantly having someone that you live with always discouraging you is hard. I don't want his opinion to matter so much to me. How do I let what he says roll off my shoulders? You pack your shit and you move the fuck out. You 22, move. Go get you a space with a friend or something. You living under your daddy's roof like a kid, and then you want to be having all kind of adult attitudes. He could ask you whatever the fuck he want to ask you in his house. I'm sorry you don't like that, but that's the rule. That's how it goes. It ain't your spot. So you don't have no rights. Okay? You want to be running shit, then get the fuck out of his house. So that's my answer to you. What he asked you and how he asked you and whether it bothers you and all that stuff is irrelevant. Because if your ass was in your own spot, then that wouldn't be a problem, would it? He wouldn't have the opportunity to be asking you nothing because you wouldn't be there. So that's the answer. Get the fuck out. Live on your own like a grown-ass woman. You're 22 years old. Make it happen. Question number 17. Shit, me and my brothers, we all was out the house at like 17, 8. Nobody was. I was the last one at 18. My brothers all left at 16 and a half, 17 years old. They was gone and ain't been back. So when I see these people 22, 25, 30, still living at home, I'm like, what the fuck are these parents doing? They should kick them out. Even if they can't afford to live by themselves, they can get a roommate. There's no reason in this world why somebody over the age of 21 out of college is living at their parents' house. Get the fuck out and do something with yourself. Start adulting. And then gonna be complaining about what the parents do and how the parents talk to them and the rules and stuff in the house. Fuck that shit. I threw my daughter out at 18. I mean, I let her come back though, because it was a special circumstance, because it was either she had to come back or as I was going to be in jail for beating this woman's ass who was her landlord. It was a really crazy situation. So I brought her back, and she got herself together, and then about a year later she was gone again. But still, I mean, I kind of like had to go in and save her. This woman was trying to take advantage of her and take her money. It was crazy. So I had to roll up there and just be Deb with that white chick. She lost her fucking mind. It's like, I don't know, you don't know whose mother this child is, who's the mother here. And so the husband was scared. And I was like, he was just looking at me. I said, this is what you gonna do. We gonna come and get all her shit. She was renting a room in these people's house. It's like, we're gonna come and get all her shit. And all the money she gave you, every dime of it, you're going to give it back. But she's been living here. I said, I don't give a fuck. You were disturbing her peace. She didn't have any kind of sensible situation as a tenant. So you're going to give me all the money back. Don't have me taking you to court. At the time, I was working for a law firm, so I'm like, I'm going to take all the money. You're going to have it here and in cash in an envelope when we come tomorrow to get her stuff. Oh, that's right, because they tried to lock her out. They did lock her out the house, so she couldn't get in the house. She didn't, she couldn't get her stuff, and they going to lock her out because they didn't like something her anime or something. The lady said that it was like demonic. I mean, the woman was batshit crazy, but so that's what I had to make an exception and get her out of that situation, because otherwise she's gonna be sleeping in the street and stuff. That was like not gonna happen. So I got all her money back, put in the bank. She stayed at the house. She followed all the rules. And then, like within a year, she was back out the house and she ain't been back. So, girl, yes, Deb was like, I'm about to go over here and light this bitch up. She don't understand. She must be crazy. Think she going to be treating my baby like that. Not somebody else's maybe, but not mine. So I lost my mind on her real quick, and her husband too. They were scared. They probably never rent to nobody black again. But if they were acting like that, this probably was a good idea. So anyway, let's move on. Question number 17. This is a young lady, the 22 to 27 age group. She's white, a Pisces from Austin, Texas. And she's writing about a female, also same age group, who's white, who's a Gemini. And so the summary of her issue is, my little sister will invite people to dinner when I tell her that I'm paying the bill. I need some advice ASAP. My little sister and I have always had a strained relationship, but we've recently been working on it and found out that we have more in common than we previously thought. I'm 27 and she is 2 years younger. Okay, so she's 25 and you 27. Okay. My frustration is that she would invite other people to dinner, even though she's not the one paying. She doesn't even ask if it's okay to invite someone. She would just tell you, great, I'm bringing insert grandparents or a girlfriend's name. I love that she tries to include everyone. Don't get me wrong. At the same time, I have a limited budget. I invited her to go to lunch with our grandparents tomorrow, and she responded with, great, I'll bring my girlfriend with me. Am I a jerk for being annoyed by this? If she had asked if her girlfriend could come, I may have been more amenable to the situation. I could have asked her to just have lunch with us and our grandparents for once. She also does this to my dad. He will invite her to dinner or lunch, and she'll say, great, I invited our grandparents too. Again, I love that she wants everyone together, but at the same time, she's not footing the bill. And my dad also has a lot of conflict with his parents. So not only is he paying a good bit more than anticipated, but also put in an uncomfortable situation. She's sensitive, as am I, and I don't want to strain our relationship, as it's finally moving towards being sisters and friends. This trait just annoys the hell out of me, and I want to address it with her without getting her or making her think I don't like her girlfriend. Sometimes I just want to spend time with my close family. I hope that doesn't make me the quote bad guy. What you do is, if she say, well, I want to bring so-and-so, well, do you like black parents? Do you got so-and-so money? How many of us have heard that? Daddy, I want to go to McDonald's. Daddy, do you got McDonald's money? So that's the same thing you need to tell her. She's like, well, I want to bring my girlfriend. But do you bring girlfriend money? Because I'm not paying for her. Understand? I'm not paying for her. And then she would be like, sitting there like blinking and trying to figure that out. Well, why? Because I didn't invite her. You did. So the person who did this extended invitation is the one who's going to pay for it. Please understand. Don't think you're going to get to the table and think that you're going to, in order, and I'm going to cover it because I'm going to pay everything but that. And then you're going to be sitting there looking stupid. So come with some money to cover her bill yourself, or let her know that she's going to have to pay it herself because I'm not paying for her. I've done it a couple of times and not doing it anymore. And that's what you say. You got some grandparents' money? Because, I'm sure at 25, she got a job. She got some money. She gonna be trying to bring people to and sponge off of you. Oh, hell to the no. You good. Because I would have told her that the first time she did it. Like, I'm bringing so-and-so. Well, you better bring some money to cover they food because I'm not paying for it. And, I mean, I don't understand why people can't say that. Let it be known. And then when they come to the table, then I would really fuck her up. I'd be like, well, I'm paying for these two myself and these person over here, and that girl, and she's paying for them two on a separate check. Because then I wouldn't even pay for her for trying to pull a fast one. Well, you invited me. Yeah, well, the invitation was rescinded when you tried to pull the bait and switch. So y'all at lunch, you paying for it. Don't bother me. Yeah, they are lost and weak. They'll notice how many people in that write these advice column week after week after week are so fucking weak. They're weak. They're spineless. They have no self-confidence and no self-esteem. They let people walk all over them. They let people please. They just do all kind of stuff that sacrifices themselves, their self-respect, their property, their bodies. I mean, their money. I mean, everything, because they are, quote, more worried about somebody else's feelings than their own. They are more worried about, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't just, no, 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 no. It's like I said earlier, or another day, whatever. It's not a good day unless I hurt somebody's feelings, because that's how I know that I'm on the right track. Because everybody's so sensitive these goddamn days. Everybody like, oh my God, my feels, you hurt my feels. I'm like, yeah, well, let me do it again. Let me show you how it's done properly. Yeah, it's just that everybody's so fucking sensitive. It's just, so when you do this kind of stuff, they're depending on you to be weak and just give in to them. So basically the sister's bullying the other sister into paying for all these miscellaneous stray people. And so that's why I would drop the hammer on her and be like, oh, separate checks. And she'd be like, what? I thought you invited me. Yeah, well, that I changed my mind. Since you don't know how to accept the invitation, you want to start bringing 900 people from the homeless camp and everything. Everybody else you can find and bring in, thinking that you're going to putting that bill on me. We're not doing that. That's right. My feels. My feels. Fuck your feels. I don't know. Is it me? Am I the problem? Because I'm telling you, I just would not accept this kind of stuff. I would not accept this. I invite you. I mean, I had a friend okay. She did me a favor. I had gotten in an accident. And so I was on crutches and stuff. And so it was time for back to school. So she came and she took my daughter, got her school clothes and all that stuff, right? So as my thank you, a couple of months later, when I could drive and walk again, I offered to take her out to dinner. And at the time I was working as a trainer. I had a client who was a chef, and he told me a great restaurant to go to. So he made us a reservation. He knew the chef there, ordered us a special meal. I mean, it was just going to be on like something I could have never done. And so I tell her this where we're going to go. Her bitch ass go and look on the menu on the online and calls me back. Now, keep in mind, I'm paying for this meal. My client has gone out of his way to touch base with the chef who owns the place to order us a special meal. I'm going to pay for it though. But he went, the special stuff that's not even on the menu, right? This dude was making us a special meal based on the strength of my client and him being friends. So this was a unique experience that we could not have duplicated or done it. So her bitch ass gonna look on the menu online and come back, call me back and say, well, can we go somewhere else? Because, I don't really see anything on this menu that, pleases me. Oh, y'all. Oh, my blood pressure. It's like it was throbbing was right here. I was this far from cussing her out. But, I held my tongue. I was so proud of myself. I said, girl, let me tell you how this is going to go. I'm going to come in my car to pick you up, and you're going to get your happy ass in the car, and we're going to go there because my clients, I told her the whole story, how he set it up. I said, and you're not going to say nothing. You're going to eat the food. You're going to like the food, and then I'm going to drop your ass back home. And that's how this evening is going to go. And she just sat there like, whatever. I said, she's like, well, but I don't really see anything. I said, we're not eating nothing on the menu, though. This is a specially prepared meal just for us. And the bottom line is, you talk about what you don't like. Can we go somewhere else? No, I asked you before for some place. That was the other point. I asked you somewhere else. Asked you if you want to go to any particular place, and you said you didn't care. So you lost all veto rights once you said you didn't care where we went. I picked the place, and that's why your little bitch ass is gonna get in the car and you gonna go, and you gonna like it. And so she was like, "Oh," and so that's what happened. And she was looking, kind of askance, but I had to remind her, halfway through. I said, "What you seem to forget is like, I'm not fucking you. So I don't really care if you like it or not. This is my thanks to you. And you just gonna, like I said, you're gonna like it. And that's just the way it is." And so she ended up liking it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, wasn't that ungrateful? It was really weird. I don't know. I just could not understand that attitude. And I still to this day I don't understand where that came from. Because somebody's gonna take me out to a special dinner where the chef went out of his way to prepare a meal just for me and my friend. That's not even on the goddamn menu, honey. I would have put that shit all over Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. It would have been me eating this food, like this special plate with me with the chef and all kind of stuff. But she just, I don't know, it was just the weirdest thing. I've never met anybody who had an attitude like that. I still don't know where that came from. It was just so weird. But anyway, I mean, we still kind of friendly, but it don't know, it not the same because I didn't like that at all. So let's move on. Question 18. 18 of 26 questions for those of you who wonder how long we're going to be here. Silent Christy says she died. Girl, I wasn't dying. I was pissed. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group. She's black from, it just says USA. Male who's black, 28 to 34 as well. Summary of issue. He wants me to be his girlfriend, but I don't know if I should say yes. He's a good man on paper. He owns a house, a car, and a disability check. Okay, sorry. I shouldn't have laughed so hard, but I can't help it. I'm dating a man in the Navy who is getting out on disability. He has a small hole in his heart, had surgery on a brain aneurysm, has high blood pressure, depression, and nightmares. Okay. My parents don't like him because he's ugly and doesn't want me to become his nurse. He is fully functional when I am with him, and my attraction is growing. His face looks bad, and he has rough skin that feels kind of like sandpaper, and he has a lazy eye. Am I being trolled? This can't be real. He is tall and treats me good, and that's attractive to me. My only issue with him is his arrogance, and he says he has normal empathy, but sometimes lacks empathy because his mother never showed him empathy because she's a narcissist. He is in therapy. I just don't want to settle, but I want marriage and a family, and so does he. But I don't know if I should commit to him. He has put in a lot of time, money, and effort into pursuing me. I don't know how to respond to some extended family and married friends who feel like I should be in a committed relationship or married by now. I'm 28 and would like to be married by 30 and with him. I know that it will happen. Okay. Girl, you could just marry Coco the gorilla and call it a day. Coco probably got more money and more fame for sure. Let me just, he do got a bad heart. He had a brain aneurysm, which means, the likelihood of him having another one is high. Because he still has high blood pressure, and he has depression, and he has crazy nightmares. A lot of these dudes, they be like choking women out and they sleep, while the women are sleeping and stuff, and the dude claim they sleepwalking and that was a bad dream. And anyway, the woman just wakes up dead. So can I recommend that you do this? Nope, I'm right there with your family. They say that he's ugly and they don't want you to become his nurse. I'm saying that he has so many afflictions that there's no way that he is a healthy specimen to reproduce with. You want to have children and be married and stuff. This guy is a bad bet for that. I wouldn't recommend that. You need to think not about right now and not just think because you just want to be married, but who you would be married to. And the gene pool that would be producing your children. You want to think about that. Look at my video called The Stupid Motherfucker Gene. I mean, you search on the internet for stupid motherfucker gene and my stuff will come up because I'm sure it's the only thing with that. The only one ever presented with that, with that title. But you got to think about that and what you would be given, how is this going to work out for your future children? You just thinking about, well, I just want to be married because all these people are putting pressure on me. That's a stupid reason to get married. Slow your roll. Stop acting so fucking desperate. Be married to some Gila monster. You're gonna have your kids looking like gorillas walking around. Ain't nobody gonna want to date them and stuff because they're gonna be hideous looking. You probably won't even want to look at them too tough. So stop this. Why are you dating somebody who's so broken down anyway? Yeah, girl. I cannot. Let's move on to question number 90 because there's not too much I can say about that other than don't be stupid and don't do it. Question number 19, male, 22 to 27. He's from Yakima, Washington. Summary of issue. Would you continue dating someone if you found out they were multi-dating? Of course. You must not be around my channel much and know about my pair and a spare dating program. This is mandatory. This is how people should date. But let's see what you have to say. Hi, Deb. Do you believe that multi-dating has a negative impact on relationships? Nope. I personally have not been a fan of it. It's not how I've gotten into long-term relationships, though I do understand that others may have different experiences. If you have been consistently seeing someone for 2 months or more with long conversations about attraction and physical contact, then it may feel like a betrayal to date multiple people. If it's not explicitly said, the amount of time and intimacy shared implies that your interest is serious. Suppose you are dating someone and they reveal that they are seeing someone else and you have feelings for them. It can be hard to cope. In the past, when I have suspected that someone I was dating was seeing other people, I chose to end the relationship. How do you think multi-dating benefits single men or women? Are you specifically in your relationships? Do you think it's needed to find the right relationship? Absolutely. See, because what happens is, okay, so you dating one person. You put all your time and energy into that one person. So you spend 6, 8 months, 10 months, a year, 2 years with that one person. And then you find out that this person is a fool and you can't be with them and the relationship goes up in smoke. Well, then you've lost 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2, 3 years of your life on that one person. Whereas if you had dated the way that I suggest, you would date multiple people. And as soon as somebody shows some signs of being something that you don't want, you don't feel the need to make it work and, let's do counseling and, let's talk it out and forgive him, forgive her. You don't feel the need for all of that because you got spares. You got somebody in your rotation. So you just chuck up the deuces and you be on back into the pit, back to other options and deal with them. That's how you should date. You date like that until you find somebody that you really want to be with and they really want to be with you. Then you get rid of all the other people. Then you do one-on-one long-term relationship. And those usually work out really well because by dating multiple people, you're not too fixated. You don't get overly attached to someone who's not right for you. Whereas if you only concentrate on one person at a time, that's usually what happens. You end up in a situation with somebody who's mistreating you, talking to you crazy, cheating on you, lying to you, half stepping, corner cutting, doing all kind of stuff because you're so emotionally invested in that one person. You try to make it work. You stick around. You sacrifice yourself. You make all kind of unnecessary compromises. You have give them all kind of ridiculous numbers of chances. Where if you've been dating 2 or 3 people at the same time, you'd be like, "Oh, fuck you, motherfucker! Hey, go on over back to the next one." So then when that one's gone, right, it frees up a spot on your roster. So now you can fill that with somebody new. And then the circle of 3 continues. A pair and a spare. Do you have to sleep with all of them? That's up to you. You could not. You can sleep with none of them. You sleep with one of them, you can sleep with none of them. It's up to you. That's all on you. But what I'm saying is most women don't date right. They don't date. They focus too much on one man. And then every single guy that they date with, they try to make him into, quote, my boyfriend. Dudes, knowing that you do that, they gives them an immense amount of power over you. And it's inappropriate. They should not have that kind of power over you. And you should not be jumping into bed with them on the first, second, or third date either. That's your experiment time during the 2 or 3. You're trying to figure out who he is. You don't be dropping your drawers that quick. You don't know who this motherfucker is. He could be an idiot, a stalker, a weirdo, somebody who's just going to be messing up your sheets for no reason. but you didn't do it right. You didn't handle yourself right. So, dude, I'm gonna just tell you this: the fact that you don't like it, nobody gives a shit. You ain't nobody's man. So who else she's seeing, and while you all jockey for position, you just don't want to be putting in no work. You don't want to feel challenged. You don't want to have to go the extra mile. You don't have to do no work. You just want her to give herself to you and commit to you just on the strength of you showed up. It don't work like that, not for smart women. So you chose to end the relationship. She didn't care. She didn't miss you. Trust me. The trash took itself out. So I'm just telling you, that's how you're supposed to date. You don't be fixated on one person at a time like that. Until that person rises to the top like cream based on a period of time and their performance and actions and how they backed up their word and all kinds of other measuring sticks that you're using, then you be with that person just that one. But until they prove themselves, you don't do that. That would be a bonehead move. Question number 20. This is a young lady in 20 to 34 age group from the UK. She's white European. Summary of issue: feeling uneasy about my younger sister's success. People tell me I'm an awfully jealous person because I am, but as hard as I try, I can't help but feel envy towards my younger sister. She's 2 years younger than me and done everything first. Your first house, marriage, and a baby. Luckily, this has always pushed me on to do the same, but I'm feeling it extra bad now that she's having a second baby, the same gender as my first. I don't understand what that difference is. They'll be a year apart and I'm already feeling uneasy. I know I need to grow up. I know I need to be happy for her, but it doesn't help that she also has more money and the comparison is so easy to make when she's the most similar person to me in the world. Have you ever given advice on dealing with this? I need some tips so I can let it go. Yet split your ass on some shrink's couch and get over your sibling rivalry. It's your baby sister. What the hell are you doing being jealous of her? Oh my God, you are just a trip. How disappointing you must be to be a big sister. Be jealous of your little sister. If you wanted somebody to have, you want to have more money, you should have not married somebody who was broke and a dusty bum. That was you. You chose that man. Okay. So don't be mad at her because she didn't choose somebody broke like you did. And she got married and then they got a man with some money enough to have a house. But not you. You chose a dusty bum. So you still live in an apartment longer than her, then finally got a house. So I don't know. See, my thing is like as a woman, if you're going to get married, you want to have kids and stuff, you should get a man who's already situated and he's got. I'm looking at my daddy. My daddy already had like a 6-unit apartment building when he met my mother. Okay. 6 units, he had income property, not just a house, income property. So they moved into the flat on the top floor and they rented out the other 5 units. That's where I lived, for a couple of years. Then he bought a house and then we moved into the house and then he rented out all 6 units. So he did all that by himself before they got married. I'm not understanding these new dudes who think that everybody's supposed to help them come up and help them be a man and help them get situated. Get off your lazy fucking ass. Put down them remotes and controls to them video games and that phone that you be texting on all the goddamn time. Read some books and do something for yourself. You shouldn't be pissing off your time on social media. You should be doing something to stabilize yourself and lay a foundation as a young man so that by the time you get in your late 20s or early 30s, you got some shit. You qualify to have a wife and some kids. Instead, you want to piss off your youth and think you're supposed to join forces with a woman and she's supposed to help you. She's supposed to do half the work. Fuck you. Don't nobody need you for that. She can do that with a girlfriend and not have to be bothered with you and your family and your needs and your kids. You know what I mean? It's like these dudes don't understand. It's no advantage to being with them. Anyway, we're going to talk about that on Sunday. I hope you guys go on the community wall and take a look at the video that I posted from CNN. We're going to talk about that on Sunday. This is March. This is National Women's Month, Women's History Month. And so we're going to talk about the history of women in relationships in the United States and the change in our society. That's what we're going to talk. I didn't do a graphic yet, so I don't have that to display. But look for the show page to go up probably tomorrow. And it's going to be our Sunday sermon on Sunday. That's what we're going to talk about. So look at the video on the community wall on the YouTube channel and you'll be able to see it. Watch it yourself. Pay attention, take notes, because that's going to be the subject of our discussion. Okay, so let's move on. Question number 21, young lady 20 to 34. She's Blasian. For those of you who don't know, that means a combination of Black and Asian. She's from Fremont, California. The male in question is 35 to 42, and he's Black. Same issue. I just proposed to my boyfriend, and he turned me down. Oh my God, Deb, what the fuck? We've been together for 5 years and living together for 4. I'm 28 and he's 36 already. Even though I've known he's not into the idea of a traditional marriage for a long time, he's implied that he's been okay with the actual marriage if it's what I want. Now he's refusing to see my side of things and calling into question my commitment in reaction to my questioning his commitment. I feel really sick and heartbroken and don't know how to just accept his opinion that we're life partners when the marriage part is meaningful and important to me. Are there any resources or conversation topics I can use to figure out how to heal this metaphorical wound in our relationship and have the lifelong commitment that we both supposedly want? No, you want. He already told you no. He don't want it. I don't understand why you don't understand what just happened. He lied and said he'd be okay with the marriage, but as soon as you presented, he said he turned it down. He don't want it. And then he tried that old nigga bullshit game where they're gonna flip the words around. So I questioned his commitment, and so then he questioned your commitment to his commitment. And you fell for it? Girl. Your Black side should have caught up on that bullshit. Caught that out real quick. Okay, let me just run this down for you. You want to be married. You're 28 years old. You've already wasted 5 years of your life on this fool who's always on the downstroke to 40. In this relationship and go and find someone else. Someone who's interested in what you're interested in. There are a lot of young men who would be happy to be with you. Okay. This old fool is not one of them. He does not want to get married, but what he wants to do is use up all your youth and beauty and tie you up to him so you waste away in nothing. Wise up before you turn 30. And I suggest that you do this tomorrow. Pack your shit if you living with him and move out and get your own place and start dating men that have some sense. Because men who want what you want, this is not it. This is not it. And he's running game on you with these platitudes and this twisting of the words and yeah. Well, yeah, I'd be open to it. Motherfucker is lying. Okay, you just pulled his car. You called his bluff, and he didn't have nothing else to do but lay his cards down. He told you what time it is. Pay fucking attention. There's nothing you can do here. You can't make nobody marry you. You can't make nobody want to do anything that you want them to do. Understand that I'm not saying you can't get married and have it happily ever after, but it's not going to be with this little bitch ass motherfucker. It's not going to be with him. So pack your shit and get out. My God. This dude is just too much. Yeah, but I'd be open to it and stuff. So here she comes calling his bluff, and he's like, no. Child, I don't know. I wish I would propose to a man. I don't even call men. So, that's so far off of my radar that I just know. Question number 22. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Hackensack, New Jersey. Summary of issue. What's the best way to respond to men without giving out too much personal information? Oh, why do we keep having these questions tonight? This must be a thing, huh? Deb, how do you avoid answering unwanted personal questions? I'm close to 30, and now at the age where I'm constantly asked, most often by men, if I'm married or not. When I say no, they will continue to interrogate me, and it makes me uncomfortable. What's the best way to respond without giving out all kinds of personal information to these nosy strangers? Once again, you never answered their questions. You answered their question with a question. Why would you need to know that? It's my classic one that I always say that. I always lead with that. That's my it comes out of my mouth before I even think about it. Whatever question they answer, well, why you need to know that? And then I sit there and I wait for them to come up with an answer. Most of the time they don't have one. Because it's like something stupid like, well, I was just wanted to know. I was curious. I thought something that, they're not qualified to think because they don't even have 2 brain cells. They only have 1. So they're not really good at thinking. Something like that. And they ask you if you're married. It's like, why is that your business? What I am. Are you? That's the better question. Are you married? Well, no, I'm not married. Okay, so then why are you running around the streets trying to troll up women? Shouldn't you be doing something so you can position yourself to get married? So, are you married? Why you need to know that? Are you married? I used to be, but now I'm not. Or I'm working on getting out of that bullshit. I fucking hate it. Who wants to be married to some bunch of bullshit anyway? Well, are you married? Why are you trying to fuck over my life like that? I'm not trying to be in that trick bag. I don't want nothing to do with you motherfuckers. I already been there and done that. Stuff like that. You say stuff like that to them, and then they'll back off because they'll say you come out as hostile. Like, marriage is something that, you can stick up your ass where the sun don't shine or something. To me, those are the best kind of answers because A, of the shock value, and B, it gives them no real answer. So you use words and you redirect their attention to the fact that you are coming off as hostile, angry, that marriage is some fucked up bullshit, stuff like that. And then they'll be like, oh, sorry I asked. But yeah, never just give them an answer. You always answer with a question, or you answer in a way that shuts them completely down, like you go smooth off, like, angry, irate, disgusted, that kind of stuff. So those are your two options. Question number 23. This is a female in the 28 to 32 age group from Elmhurst, Illinois. Summary of issue: how am I going to tell my boyfriend about my debt? I'm 31. I've lived with my boyfriend he's 32, for almost a year. What I haven't told him is that I have a pretty big debt, both with banks, but also some loan sharks. What the fuck? I know it's stupid, but I wouldn't have done it if it weren't necessary. I'm cornered now, and I don't know how to pay back the loans and pay for rent and food, etc. I haven't told him because I've always been afraid of it. I have to tell him now, and I don't know how, and I'm so scared. I'm so scared that I have ruined everything, and I'm scared that he will leave me for it. What should I do? Well, you have to. So what you're trying to live with him and for almost a year, and you have to pay food and rent, etc. Why would you live with a man that you have to pay all that stuff for? How is it benefiting you to live there with him doing all of that? If he's not, I don't understand what the reason is to move in with a man if he's not helping you. You still paying bills, and says you could do that with a female roommate and not have to be looking at his fucking ass. So these dudes, they want to, so they have like rollover pussy next to them and shit and household services and all this stuff like they married. And then they still want you to be like, have roommate status, paying half on everything. You women that fall for that shit are stupid as hell. If you're going to be giving up all of that kind of stuff, he getting all them kind of perks and benefits, then he should be paying for it. I'm not paying half for shit. You want me to be performing all these services for your monkey ass. I guess you're going to pay for it, or you can live by yourself. I don't really give a fuck. It's not going to benefit me. But if I was going to save money by living with a man, then that's what I would do, save money. Otherwise, I would just have a female roommate or two. And then I can save money and not have to be bothered with no fucking ass man. I just don't understand these chicks. They got like a roommate that they fucking. That's basically what it is. They fucking him and cooking and cleaning for him and all this stuff. So they losing in the long run. I don't understand it. What is the logic of this? What y'all be thinking moving in with these dudes under them circumstances? So anyway, you want to know how you're going to tell him? Just tell him. So, I can't pay any more rent because I have all this debt I need to pay, and this is just a bit much for me. So if you want me to stay here with you, you're going to have to cover all the rent and the lights and this and that, and I'll help buy some food. That's all I can afford. And then see what he says. Be prepared that you're going to have to move out, though. Just tell him you need 3 months and get your stuff together and move in with a girl. You guys share like a 2-bedroom apartment. You'll be all right. That's what I would recommend. But if he can't help you come up out of this hole that you in, then you don't need him. Don't fuck him no more. Don't do shit for his ass. to save your money and then get out. Question number 24, male, 43 to 50. He's white from the UK. My girlfriend doesn't like my children. Recently, I moved in with my fiance after 7 years of living alone. She's 39 and I'm 45. I've had my children for 3 nights a week for these 7 years and a set schedule of every Monday and then alternate Thursdays, Fridays, and then Friday or Saturday. Or Friday, Saturday. Since we moved in, I have been taking my partner's kids to school, picking up, and also taking them to their after school stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays while she works shifts so that we don't have to pay for childcare, which I don't mind doing. The issue is that since we moved in together, I'm further away from my kids, over an hour each way, and so it's no longer realistically possible for me to do the Monday night as they need to get up super early so that I can get them to school on time. My partner has her children full time, with the exception of alternate Friday, Saturday when the kids' dad has them. She's now saying that her time off from the kids is important to her, and she doesn't want my kids, 13, 11, and 9, coming to the house when her kids aren't here or that she has to work the next day. Wow. After asking why, she says it's because they are disruptive, rude, and disrespectful, which I don't think they are, but they're just some preteens and teens and the usual stuff, usual arguments. And it's caused a huge friction, not only between us, but also between me and the kids' mom, as it's messing up the routine we had, and I'm stuck in the middle. You're not stuck in the middle, you're just a pussy. I feel as though I do a lot for her kids in terms of running around after them, taking them stuff and picking up and dropping them off, which I don't mind doing at all, but she's making no effort to bend my kids into her routine and constantly saying things like it's not my kids' house as they live with their mom. It's caused repeated arguments over routine, and I'm getting nowhere with it. I mentioned about missing out on the one-on-one time I've had with my kids over the past 7 years, and all I got in return was her basically implying that she thinks that I think her and the kids are getting in the way. Not true. And was quite patronizing about the fact that I want to spend time with my kids because she doesn't do that with her kids in the same way. And now, even though I said nothing of the sort, she now takes it as the fact that I said this and meant this when I didn't, and she won't listen to reason. Okay, pack your shit and leave. What the fuck? Dude, you can't make nobody love your kids. This woman sounds like a bitch. I don't even understand why you there. Once she started that conversation, you should have went back before your apartment got leased or your house or wherever you was living. You should have picked up the phone and called the owner and said, "I'll be back," like Arnold. "I'll be back," and move your shit back out of that house and found you a new girlfriend. This relationship is not gonna work out. It's not gonna go anywhere. I can't believe you've been dating her all these years and this is the first time you're hearing of her dislike of your children like this. I mean, you've been dating her that long. She should know these kids well. I don't understand what the problem is. I've had boyfriends, they had like, a little niece or a little cousin, or one dude had his own, he had a kid, but they kids liked me more than they liked him. So when they would come around, they would be up all under me. And so it was, very interesting to see. But this kind of thing here, dude, your kids are your blood. They should come first at all times. She don't want the kids at her house when her kids aren't there, and say, "Bitch, I won't be here either." And pack your shit and move the fuck out. She doesn't let you know it's her house. It's not your house too. It's her house. So get your shit and get out. That's the best way. Because right there, you putting your kids in a situation where they're going to be emotionally abused by her, as her attitude about them is very negative. Question number 25, this summary of issue. Oh, I'm sorry. Female, 22 to 27. She's mixed race. It says no location provided. Summary of issue. All of my guy friends are cheating on their girlfriends. Ooh, you need new friends. Oh, excuse me. I'm so tired. I mean, it's none of my business what they do with their relationships. But today I was just thinking about everything more clearly. And it's just weird. I mean, almost all my guy friends have slept with at least one of my friends or me. Really? Or done something close to that with me or my friends in parties when we were drunk or high. We never let any of that affect our friendships, and everything is always back to how it was after the parties. It's like what happens in parties is separate from everything else, and it doesn't count. But still, most of them have girlfriends. Isn't it normally how guys do things? No one ever talks about how it's weird that they do these things when they have girlfriends. They also never bring their girlfriends to any of our parties and hangouts. I want to know what you and the squad think about this situation. because no matter what, they're still cheating, right? Well, yeah, but you don't want to participate in it, so you're a bullshit ass bitch too. This is what the deal is. Why don't you, they don't bring their girlfriends, but if you wanted to mitigate the situation, you would have picked up the phone and called their girlfriends and told them where the party is so they could come, right? Or you, not using liquor as an excuse for some trifling asshole behavior, wouldn't do that, and so that you wouldn't be engaging in these nonsensical, hoish activities with your quote male friends. So you a hoe, they a hoe, and everybody in it. You a hoe. My song. Use a hoe. God, I need to put that on a loop because that's the that's the crux of the issue. You doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes is your friend and hoes is your enemies. You doing hoe shit. And so are these guys that you call friends. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you expect me to tell you. So you say that they cheat on their girlfriends. They can't cheat by themselves. Okay. So that's you and your friends participating in the fuckery. All y'all is hoes. And our final question for the evening from this ridiculous, crazy ass show. Female 18 to 21, she's black from Jacksonville, Florida. Summary of issue: I love my boyfriend, but he is so immature. I'm not sure I should wait for him to show signs of independence or cut ties. Am I being unreasonable? So I am 20 and I love my 25-year-old boyfriend of 9 months. We have a great emotional connection. He's very gentle, loving, and kind to me. I'm so in love. However, we seem to be on different wavelengths in maturity, and I'm starting to resent it. I come from an abusive household, so I don't know if it's my jealousy or if I have a right to feel this way. His parents will never kick him out and, quite frankly, want him there. But here are some of the things I find immature. Number one, he still lives at home. No big deal. I did until a few months ago, too. But he has no financial responsibility. His parents pay for groceries, phone, car insurance, medical insurance, and help him find doctors, and he's 25. If his parents don't help him, he just goes to urgent care. He can't find a PCP. I moved out a few months ago, and we decided it's not the right time to live together. I asked him for his timeline on life, and he said since he dropped out of college at 20, he hasn't really thought about his future, and it's just going with the flow until he met me. But he says he wants a future with me. I tried to explain the cost of life to him, but he didn't know how to budget or the cost of groceries, a phone bill, insurance, etc. He said that conversation overwhelmed him. Okay. He tells his friends intimate details of our eggplant life. His friends are single and they all live at home too. He's the only one with a girlfriend, and he told them my kinks and descriptive details. He said that's just what guys do, but I broke up with him for a few days because of it, after him begging and promising to never do it again. I'm his first girlfriend, so I've been cutting him some slack. He gets overwhelmed when he has to pack, make appointments, go to an appointment. Wow, this guy sounds like a bonehead loser. What the hell? I love him, but I can't force somebody to grow up. I'm not sure if I'm being judgmental or if I even have the right. I'm giving him until the end of my lease to show some progress. But I have a fear of coming off demanding as rushing since I want something stable in the next few years, which I don't think is crazy. He says he wants a future and something serious, but maybe our definitions of serious are different. We hang out, we watch TV, we go to eat sometimes, and we go to concerts. It's a lot of fun, but I want to work towards building a life. Obviously, we haven't been together that long, but he should be showing some signs of becoming financially independent. But I don't know what the signs are supposed to be. It's the signs are you don't live under your parents, and your parents don't pay all your bills for you like you're 12. You have a job and you pay your own shit. If you still live at home, you help your parents cover some expenses. You don't just live like a child. And he's 25. He's older than you. And you already got your own spot. And he's still living at home like a baby and being treated like a kid. His parents paying all his bills for him. Girl, you are so far out of his league. There is just no reason for you to be with this child. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. You're going to sit up there feeling frustrated because he's so immature and childish. You're like light years ahead of him in development. Socially, probably financially, and mentally and emotionally too. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So I suggest you read the room and end this. And who's going to be telling their friends about what him and his girl does? I mean, that's what they do when they have like a booty call or something. Nobody knows. But his friends ain't going to be in your face and he's done told them all this kind of stuff about you. Just stupid. And it's like, you just first girlfriend at 25? What the fuck? Everything that you told me, this dude is like not it. He's not it. So you figure that out and you get yourself on down a dusty trail with somebody else, because he's just not the one. It's not the one. It's not gonna work. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna work. So that's what we're gonna do. Remember to come back here on Sunday. I'll put up the thing. It's gonna be the Church of Deb on Sunday at usually we do around 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 7 if you're on the East Coast. We're gonna be doing a Sunday sermon in honor of Women's History Month. I'm gonna try to do a couple of shows, centered around women over the next few weeks, from March 1st to 31st. And but this will be the first one, and we're going to be talking about women and their impact on the changing landscape of the social structure of the United States, based on the video that's posted, that's linked rather, on the community wall here on YouTube from CNN. It's like CNN. It's a couple of posts down. I posted it yesterday, I think it was. So it's a few posts down, but you'll be able to see it there. Just scroll down till you see it. And then review that, because that's going to be the basis for a discussion on Sunday. Okay, what that guy's talking about. I thought it was very interesting, but of course he's on one and full of some shit. But we'll talk about all that. But I appreciate you guys coming, and thank you for showing up on Wednesday when we should have been here yesterday. We got to see if we can get Candace to do the column early, maybe get it to me like on Sunday or Monday for a change. It's to wait till the last minute. But we'll see. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Got to let her do it her way. But I'll see you guys. Okay, I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.